Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network in conjunction with Clear Production Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, we have sunny skies. Weather's about 96 degrees. We'd like to thank you for flying Sideline Junkies Podcast Network Airways. It's time to board and take off on this thing. And before we get started, I'd like to congratulate KG and the gentlemen of the WrestleManiacs. We got some big news. Clear Productions and the WrestleManiacs are going to be featured on Me TV. So that's a big endeavor for them. So I say congratulations. You guys deserve it. Any words, KG?
My biggest words is I can only say that gratitude, because we started the WrestleManiacs podcast August 25th, 2018. And that night it started off controversial. And I'm waiting for a big reveal. That's why you haven't seen the background of the night and the face yet, because we're gonna do a big reveal in a minute. But everything about this is just, it's absolutely beautiful. This is what you work hard for. And we had a Clear Productions meeting last night, and Big Dog said it. He said, you've arrived, but me, we haven't arrived yet. Not yet. Not yet. When the Big Dog can say, hey, this is my full time, and all I got to do is sit and make sure the show's there because everybody asking, and all we got to do is do our part, that's when we arrive. That's when I'm like, all right, let's go. Appreciate that, Perry. You still one of them WrestleManiacs too. You, Raj, everybody, man. It wouldn't be successful without y'all. Like, we do it. And hey, we done had a hell of a lot of shows to get it done. So Ecstatic is where it's at. So yeah.
I was a little nervous. I didn't know if he was going to Ricky, give me a, what KG feels like. KG just did a great job at this. Me and my fellow WrestleManiacs. KG just wants to, thank everybody for, that's why I thought you was going with it. But I appreciate you not going full third person.
No, not today. All
right, cool. Well, just to get back off of the announcement, our show host, your pilot tonight, is the big guy KG. His co-pilots, the gentleman Jack Carr, me, the Midnight Rider. Let's get this thing going, fellas.
And Keith says, props to y'all. Now get on air on time for a change. We had a power surge, man. That's all. We had a power surge. But before we get into this first topic, let's do this reveal. Because I had to bring this out, because if you didn't see the show Saturday, I had to bring this back out. So
all right, that's too much. That's too much. You're gonna get us muted.
Woo, little BBL Bailey. All right, man. Now, you know how we do.
We do not own the rights to any music that's played on this show. Go ahead. Sorry.
How we do, we always try to end the show on a high note. So let's start off on a low note, because this is sad. Former NBA player Joe Jellybean Bryant passed away today, 69 years old. Claim to fame. The number 14 pick in the first round in 1975 by the Golden State Warriors immediately traded to the hometown Philadelphia 76ers, where he played alongside the Doctor, Doug Collins and company, and was on the 77 team that took on the Portland Trail Blazers in the championship. Played for the Clippers when they were in San Diego. Famous for his dunk on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and played one season in 81 with the Rockets. After that, his career from 83 to 92 was overseas in Italy and France. Also was the head coach of the Los Angeles Sparks from 2005 to 2007, and then again in 2011. He succeeded his former teammate, Henry Bibby. And then he was replaced by Michael Cooper in 2007. Also known for the obvious, the father of the Black Mamba himself, Kobe Bryant. Gentlemen, thoughts?
I just think it's. I mean, I wish they had a better relationship. Going down. Of course, we lost Kobe, but a dad and a son should have a better relationship. I don't know the extent of how bad it was, but wish they had a good one. I remember him dunking on, maybe it was Kareem, but he dunked it and his arm was turned back a little bit. So if that's the Kareem dunk, that's the one thing that sticks out in my head about him and his career.
Yeah. Jelly Bean Bryant, Joseph Washington Bryant. He also coached overseas a little bit as well in Japan and Thailand, I noticed in my read. And it's amazing how he played for his hometown team, coming up a star at LaSalle, and gets to play for the Sixers. I thought that was pretty impressive. He was a beast at LaSalle.
Yeah, most definitely. I was telling the Midnight Rider before we jumped on air, LaSalle, I think at the time, this is late 90s. Somehow, some way, I got offer letters. One of the schools I got an offer letter from was LaSalle. LaSalle, Catholic, and Hartford were the three schools that I got offer letters from. So, and I said, LaSalle is where all the Philadelphia legends went. That's where, a lot of people had connections to LaSalle. So it was a lot of balling up there. And Keith, yeah, hello Naya. Wrong side. Let me move to that side. It ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with that. You know how we do here. But I agree with you, Midnight Ride. I wish that as a father and son, they would have had a better relationship. But you can only go by what you're told, because something my cousin always says when people start speculating, were you there? And you can only go by what people say. And when somebody passes away, dead men tell no tales. So you don't know what the relationship was. We don't know. We don't 100% know. We can only go by what we're told. But it's unfortunate that this family is struck by tragedy again. 69 in this day and age, that's a young age. That is a very young age. But no cause of death has been released. So prayers and condolences to his family, friends, and fans. Try to brighten this up a little bit. It's always hard with this train.
Before you transition, if the people in the Sideline Junkie podcast land would take some time out and when you throwing up prayers, one of my little cousins was stabbed pretty bad, and she's in the ICU at Howard, Christina Johnson. So if you can just, when you throwing them up, just add that name in, or just however you want to do it. And the same thing for your
I feel you. I'm going through some stuff with my family as well.
Right, your cousin, right, Kevin?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my cousin Kevin.
Yeah.
Tough times, man. Tough times. But this is one of these issues where you gotta stay strong. So it's hard and it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. But this is one of the ones you gotta stay strong. So prayers up for everyone. Couple of comments. Perry says, KG, look up Charity King. Oh, I'm looking. I'm liking. I'm with it. Add it to the list.
KG, you got a scroll of names.
Okay,
So
yeah,
women wrestlers.
yeah. Because I mean, yeah.
I don't know if the scroll, the CVS receipt, or the list of ladies that you love in wrestling. I don't know which one is longer, but it's pretty tight race.
Hey, and James King says, "What's this? Pirates of the Caribbean? Nah, not yet. Maybe later." Fellas, Home Run Derby was last night. I didn't get to the final round. Once Gunner went down, I was like, "Geez." Let's start with the beginning. The big news from the beginning. What's the lady's name? Ingrid Andreas and her national anthem.
I mean, we got you.
I just want to cover it quick. I've seen more coverage of this national anthem and bringing up Carl Lewis's national anthem, Roseanne Barr, Fergie. Who else was it? It was somebody else, and it was just like some of the worst national anthems of all time. And I was just like, wow. But she released a statement. She said, "I'm sorry. I was drunk. I'm going to rehab." Okay. That's all I can say is okay. Any thoughts on that before we move on to the actual home run derby?
I was hoping she was crushed if she sings like that, man. Whew.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how she made it through sound check.
Here's what's crazy. If you Google home run derby 2024, the actual home run derby does not come up.
I just did.
She comes up. I said, wow, okay.
She was the star of the show.
Yeah. Matty Ice said, "I give it a negative 23 out of 50. Good grief, that's low."
Matty Ice.
To chime in.
Yeah, he's our anthem critic.
And here's the thing. I was being funny. And I was like, "Matty Ice, what you think?" And he said he was driving back from New York. And when I found the video, I said, "You didn't miss much." But I was being funny. I knew he didn't watch it, but I was hoping that he caught a little bit of it. And I was trying to be funny. Whoo, boy. Moving right along. The actual home run derby. Did you guys put in any bets? You take any action on this?
Nah, because I knew they changed the format, so I wasn't too sure. I didn't have one of my dogs in it, so I kind of had to back off on this one.
It was surprising, though. I mean, some of the big guns I thought were going to do some damage didn't. With Garcia, the boy from the Mets, Alonso. I thought they was going to do all the damage. Great finish. I like the new format. It wasn't bad.
I think it was better than the old format because it felt like the other times it felt like it just went on forever, and the guys just got tired.
And big numbers got cut too. The other format because Adley he lost by one home run, but he would have been one of the top two numbers.
Right.
They were doing head to head, so it didn't matter what his number was. He got bumped. So I like this, and then it went to the 4. I like it. But the ending was awesome. I mean, that was probably 2-3 inches from being a home run ball.
I think this is the best of the games or the things that come along with the All-Star game. The home run derby is the king. Just like baseball is the best game option of the sports in their All-Star game / Pro Bowl / whatever you want to call it.
I'll give you that. Because, I mean, we had that conversation about All-Stars and baseball ranked up there.
Yeah.
Matty Ice said, "Glad Jose made it to the second round, but it was kind of boring. The format isn't that great."
I think what didn't help in that format was the music they were playing. I think that kind of drowned out the crowd. So you didn't get that real crowd reaction every time the ball was hit. That's what I think hurt them.
I didn't like the split screen.
Okay.
because you'll see the batter and then you're following the ball and they're hitting the next one already while that ball's still in flight. And there is 2 or 3 balls and you like, okay, all right, this is starting to get confusing. And James King said Carl Lewis when we're talking about anthems. It was starting to get a little confusing. And I was like, yeah, I can't keep up with this.
But I thought later on, I didn't know if it was the first round or not, but I heard old Grant Paulson say that a lot of the times they were letting the ball hit or come down first before they threw the next pitch. Like they were trying to space it out as best they could.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that happened later on.
That clock, and then you saying how much time off that clock between pitches. You know, you suppose what were they getting? 41 pitches, 32 pitches. What was it? Was it 32?
It was 40. It was
40 pitches, 3 minutes in the first round.
Right.
So you trying to throw 40 pitches in 3 minutes? You gotta throw those pitches. You gotta put them out there. So you didn't have time to really watch them land, and I think that's where you messed up at.
No, I think they probably tried to make them land just for safety reasons, because you don't want baseballs flying into the and then people looking at one way, and then all of a sudden there's a baseball incoming. And that actually used to scare me at Nats Park. I used to go to Nats Park, and I would see people taking pictures, having conversations. I think the net was the greatest invention for the cell phone era. I mean, I never forget. We were in the middle of the inning, and I've heard one of the craziest conversations. I will share in the off-air segment of this because of the nature of the conversation. But yeah, man.
I never looked at it that way about this being in the cell phone era, because I didn't like the netting. But it makes a lot of sense when you say it that way. Today's peoples ain't paying attention. I'm paying attention. I'm watching the ball game. But
Right.
You're right.
You got a lot of people that are there for work. They take it off work, and it's a social event for them. So they're taking pictures, they're posing, or they're having random conversations about everything else.
Yeah.
I do give my son credit, because one game we went to, he asked the blonde-haired, beautiful girl behind us, what's her bedtime? So, yeah. I couldn't get mad at him.
No.
I had to stop him, though, because he was like, Daddy, buy her a beer. I was like, whoa. You got to support your own habits here, brother.
Yeah. Play your own player.
You supposed to help the man out.
He was 8. I don't think he was getting
Oh, what? I thought you was talking about recently. Good Lord.
You supposed.
Hey.
Let me say this. Kids can be the great wingmans. Now that wouldn't
have been a good night for him to be a wingman. Saying that I was there with my girl and her son at the time. So
never mind.
But that did get me a beer bought by the guy sitting on the other side of me, because he was like, that was hilarious and classic. I'm gonna buy you next round. So
Matty he said balls. I did.
I was trying to avoid it. That's why, if you didn't see me, I hesitated before I said baseballs. Oh man.
So your winner was Teoscar Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Teoscar. Yeah. He beat Bobby Witt Jr. The first round was explosive. You got Baum gave you 21, Witt gave you 20. Garcia 18, Hernandez 19, Alonso 12, 21 from Ramirez, Ozuna gave you 16, and Gunnar gave you 11. And Gunnar went last.
Yeah, I figured that might be tough, because he had to sit and watch everybody go.
Yeah. It's like a 3-point shootout. You got to know what you got to do to get in. And I think, what was it, the top 4 made it to round 2. So then in round 2, Hernandez beat out Baum 16-15. Witt beat out Ramirez 17-12. And then in the final, it was a close one. Hernandez 14, Witt 13.
An amount of inches. from being the 14th home run hit by Witt Jr. That was real close. I think it was a good showing by Witt. I don't think anybody had big numbers on Witt. So I thought it was a good home run derby overall.
Witt is the perfect example of being patient with a guy that you know is going to be a star. He's got all the tools. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 years, he's kind of started walking in to what he's going to be. I remember watching Trey Turner when he came over to the Nats. He kind of had that spell of the first 3 or 4 years where he was still a doubles guy, doubles, triples kind of guy. And then slowly he started getting into his prime a little bit, started putting on some weight, starting muscle up some stuff. And that's when he started taking off and hitting his home runs. And I think you're seeing the similar shift in to bring it home to C.J. Abrams, where he's starting to grow into his body. I mean, people don't understand that C.J. Abrams has probably one of the most unique paths to the major leagues because he didn't play much minor league baseball because Fernando Tatis Jr. got hurt, and he was their best shortstop prospect. So he kind of came up and learned on the job. And this is another situation where Mike Rizzo took advantage of the Padres for the second time.
Here's a question, and I'm full of questions.
All right.
Something I thought about last night, and I said not even to let the public know, but to make it more exciting, especially when you're in a pitcher's park. And I think that park was a pitcher's park, not a hitter's park. Like Colorado's park is a hitter's park. Yankee Stadium is a hitter's park. National Stadium, hitter's park. But when you're in places that are pitcher's park, whether it's Houston or Texas or wherever, would you be opposed to cork bats?
Yeah.
Against the rules, you're cheating.
I mean, I'm
opposed to cork bats. Of course.
Now, if you said something, never mind. I'm not even going to make that statement because that's going to open up another conversation.
You would be unopposed to cork bats there?
No,
KG?
I'm opposed to cork bats.
No, I know you are. I'm asking KG.
No, I mean, in a home run derby.
Oh,
because I mean, you got guys that actually use cork bats to take BP. I remember Sosa used to do it, and when he got cork, I think he was still in Chicago. He was with the Cubs, and his bat broke.
He didn't hit anything in when he was a White Sox, so he had to be with the Cubs. I think he was hitting 215 when he was with the White Sox.
But if you look at it, he was using cork bats and BP, and nobody said anything. And then he actually took the bat and actually used it in the game. And, it was an accident. He's all, no, it was my fault. It's an accident. I'll take the fine, the suspension, whatever comes with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I think would be pretty cool to incorporate a couple swings with an aluminum bat. These college boys are using, say they get 30 swings, you can do 10 with aluminum bat, 20 with a wooden bat. Ooh. I'd like to see how far they hit these balls with these composite bats. Ooh.
Good gosh.
I mean, that's 600 foot. It'd probably be 600-foot home runs.
It's a guy on TikTok. He goes through. He uses aluminum bat from the 70s.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He just goes up and he just to see what you got. Man, he be smoking them things. Like he does it at night with a neon ball, and that ball disappears into the night, man. And I'm just like, damn. Then it's another guy, and for those of us that are older, you remember guys that were pull hitters that could pull the ball wherever they wanted. Like Tony Gwynn was a great pull hitter. Tony Gwynn was a great.
No, you want to use the other term. You want to use the term spray.
Spray hit. Okay. I was I was thinking spray, but I always knew that if he wanted to pull it, he said, he was like, if I wanted to go here, I could put it where I want.
Right.
But when you got a guy that's batting from the right side, he can pull it to the left and get it in the gap every time. I don't know who this guy is. I can't find him now that I've been looking for him to send to everybody. But he was just sitting there and he was just pulling it all day long. And he was pulling it to the left.
Spraying it.
And I was like, wow. And I mean, it's not I'm just gonna lay this on the ground. No, I mean, these are moonshots. Vicious, man.
So he just basically what he's doing is letting the baseball get into his swing. People say let it eat. And then that's when you can most times spread to the opposite field.
Now, let me get to these comments first, and I'll make my comment. Perry says, Sosa, LOL. What else did he court?
Hey, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people he ain't. It's like Tim Donaghy. Tim Donaghy wasn't the only referee cheating, and Sosa, McGuire, and whoever else you think were the only ones using steroids. You crazy in your head.
I don't ever believe. Now, hold on. Let me rephrase that. McGuire wasn't using a banned substance. Andro was not banned. When they banned Andro, he got off of it. Same thing with creatine and Brady Anderson. When they banned it, he got off of it. You saw what he did.
It was an antibiotic steroid.
But was it on the list?
Okay. But besides the fact on the label on the back it said steroid.
Was it on the list?
Okay. I like that.
So you can't trip them up about, oh, you used an illegal substance. Was it illegal? When it became illegal, I stopped using it. I wasn't using it.
Yeah, okay.
The thing with creatine,
he was using something.
Weight room. The thing with creatine and Brady Anderson, when they put that on the list, that was on the list in baseball, but it wasn't on the list in anything else. And creatine, all creatine did was take the water weight off you and give you energy to put muscle mass on. It didn't make you had to still have skills to do things.
We're not going down that road.
I'm just saying. I mean, before they altered the chemistry of creatine, I was a proponent of it. I took it. I went from 212 down to 197. And I bulked back up because I was in the gym every night, 10 to 2 a.m. And then go to sleep for a couple of hours and go to work. But I was in the gym.
What kind of workout was you doing from 10 to 2? What was you, dancing to the oldies in between sets?
Nah. Living weight.
What the heck? 10 to 2? That's a 4-hour shift. In the gym?
Yeah. Run and shoot was open all night.
You were
so
hooping.
Me and the boss DJ would go to run and shoot, and he didn't get off until 10. So we were in run and shoot. I play a couple games of basketball. He'd be like, man, get your ass in this weight room. Dog, I'd be over there warming up. So
that sounds better.
I'm in there hustling, doing my thing, and then I bulked up to 225. So, it happens. Perry says, I hate that aluminum bat ping.
Oh, now they got a different sound.
Yeah. More than most with juice, and it was the era of C. Brady Anderson, yeah? Because Brady had that 1 year and never reached that height again. KG was on that ICO Pro. Oh, why do I know that? Why do I know that? I don't know why I know that. But now, talking about hitters. Now, myself, I don't play much baseball, softball, or anything like that these days. I'm trying to take up the game of golf and things like that. Maybe even take up pickleball with some of these people that I run into. But when it comes to MLB, the show, I'm a spray hitter. I'm all about hitting them in the gaps and things like that. I led the American League in doubles 2 seasons in a row. So I have to, say that. But broke the record for RBIs too. But hey. WWF brand. Okay. Okay.
Take a long time to play a whole season on the show.
Shoot.
No.
Not if you simulate to your next appearance. I can play 7 games in under an hour.
160 some games, 180 some games. That's a lot of
Here's
games.
my recommendation: don't be a first baseman, don't be a pitcher, and don't be a catcher. If you play the outfield, you can get 4 to 5 games in, like KG said, in an hour.
I'm a first baseman.
So I play right field, or I play left, and a couple times because my guy's speed, they put me in center. But
It wasn't enough action out in the outfield for me. When I first started, I was out. There wasn't enough action for me.
Hey man, I'm just trying to get through this. Get to my bat, and then get to my next play.
Wasn't enough action. But overall, if you had to rate this home run derby overall, because the All-Star game should be starting, it should be on now, right?
I mean, depends.
It's 8:25.
It's probably close to starting. Let's see, they got singing the anthem tonight.
Cody Johnson.
Oh, okay.
And he's definitely not drunk, is what they're saying.
Was it on national TV today?
It's probably on Channel 5. Oh, you know what? I gotta go to. Here we go.
Yeah, I see it. They already started off hopping.
Jack says, I thought the home run derby was great. I like the new format.
All right. What's up, Jack?
And so Matty Ice said it's on Fox.
I know these jerseys look god awful.
Somebody said they made the mistake at.
Yeah, them jerseys
it looks like somebody put a red sock in with the whites.
Yeah. Yeah, the American leagues look they got mixed up in the wash.
Yeah.
All right, so
National League, is this my boy Willie Adonis? Oh no, Contreras.
You gotta rate it.
Home run derby
10.
for me was an 8. It was a good show. I think it moved. I think their biggest thing is trying to get it into that window, because there were times back in the day that thing would just go on and on, and you just like, all right, we got to end this at some point.
But
and I think that's the part of the new format that like we kind of got to get used to, is they're trying to just trim it down so it fits into a solid TV segment, and you're not there at like 11:30, 12 o'clock still watching Bryce Harper hit home runs at Nats Park.
Yeah, they did well. The format with the timing, and we weren't out till past midnight trying to watch this thing. I agree with you as well. I give it an 8.
I'll agree with 8. I'll take that.
8.
Hey, we joined by the Big Dog and Chris Russell over on Instagram. How y'all doing?
All right.
Hey, Chris Russell, my man.
Hey, I got a bingo game I'm making for Chris. We already talked about it last night. He knows what they are. But he's the biggest heel, and if you check him out tomorrow, him and Linnell about to be going at it. They probably won't get to anything of substance in the first couple minutes of the show because they'll be yelling at each other. It's a great listen, though.
Lee Ice checking in, just turned on the All-Star game to croak my brother BC. What are we doing here? Oh, that was said a couple of times last night in the meeting, so we got to count that. So
I think it was 5
quarter. I think we up. I think we
had $2 of it. I think we had at least 8 because he kept coming back to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think we are up to at least $13. Let's call it $13.25 right now.
All right, that's cool. Let's call
it $13.25, and that's on the low side. It hit WTF up with these uniforms.
Uniforms are whack.
I told you, the wrong guy washed the jerseys today. He put the pink sock in with him. Go ahead.
Rocking this right here. This is just, we ain't got to spend too much time on this, but Brandon Ayuk officially asked for a trade because they can't come to a contract extension. out in San Francisco. How likely do you think he'll be traded?
Unlikely. And the reason I say unlikely is because they got Ricky Pearsall that just went on the non-football injury reserve list before training camp. So you're not going to take away from the time that you already have. This is also a team that has a small window. So why are we walking away from this player that we're going to have 2 years of control for? The worst case scenario, you franchise him next year and you trade him. But I keep telling y'all, I personally, if I'm the Washington Commanders, I don't trade for a wide receiver. I'm about to put outside of Treylon Burks, because this would have happened. And if you don't know who Treylon Burks is, he's the wide receiver out of Arkansas. He's the reason the Tennessee Titans were okay with trading away A.J. Brown to the Eagles because they didn't want to pay A.J. Brown. All right? Instead, they drafted this kid to replace him because if you've been paying attention to the trend, wide receivers come along faster now than they ever did. Problem is the kid stayed hurt, and now teams are scared of trying to take that plan, kind of like the running back plan. So now we're paying receivers more than we ever paid them. And that's why I don't think you pay Ayuk. I just don't believe, personally, from a roster build standpoint, that you spend 26 on Terry and then you pay this guy 28, 29, and last year was his best year. I'm just not a fan of that. I'll draft a kid next year. In the second round, I'll give me a wide receiver and be done with it.
But Washington is not hurting for wide receivers.
Depends on who you ask.
I mean, I'm speaking from experience from inside the Beltway. And looking at the wide receiver room right now, you have Terry McLaurin's your number one. Put that to bed. Terry McLaurin's your number one. Jahan Dotson is your number two. Luke McCaffrey is going to be probably your number three. Jamison Crowder is going to be your kick returner. De'Ami Brown may round it out. And then everybody else, throw them against the wall and see if they stick.
Well,
but I don't think they have a young receiving core with a veteran in Jamison Crowder that can say, hey, this is how we play the game. Because Jamison Crowder, he's serviceable with what he does. He's a utility knife. I like what he brings to the team. But
Jack, what you got?
I mean, I think San Fran, they signed Debo. They already gave him his extension. McCaffrey's got his deal. The backup wide receiver's got his deal. I think that Ayuk's going to stay in San Fran. Like you say, they don't have much time. Their championships either this year and running slim after that. They've been, up in the runnings the past several years. Now this offense is finally gelling. I don't see why they would let Ayuk walk. They need to just give the man his money.
I don't know if you pay him. I just think you move on strategically and get something for him if you can get something for him. But I don't think he's that person that you signed because you drafted Pearsall with a first round pick. So as long as he's healthy or when the season gets started, he's a playmaker. He's a catcher. So I'm not worried about him translating to the NFL. And KG, if I cut you off, I apologize, brother.
You're good. Because I didn't want to get too excited and then, I run off with the topic and I take it somewhere else and Jack be like, well, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't want to run off with it. But a couple comments real quick. Talking about the trade of Ayuk, Perry says unlikely as the NFL just doesn't happen like that. True. And putting this, and I hate bringing it back here every time. It's always got to come back to Washington. Got to come back to the Commanders. We have the money to pay him, but it's not financially responsible to give him the money that he's looking for. He's looking for top 5 money. Unfortunately, for the Midnight Ride and the boss BJ, when I told them when Terry was negotiating, he's going to get top 5 money, and Terry got top 5 money because I know what I'm talking about. But
Okay.
Ayuk, he's looking for top 5 money. He's in that category for top 5 money. You can't have 2 receivers with top 5 money, and then he comes here. Who are you pushing down? You're pushing Jahan Dotson down. You might even be pushing Terry down. You're pushing McCaffrey down. You're pushing so many young guys down the depth chart. But why? I don't think that it's not financially responsible. It's not fiscally responsible. It's not responsible at all for Washington to do this.
But all right, in ways, it's both. It can be financially responsible because you got a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. You're going to have a boatload of money next year. I just don't think that a team that's in the rebuilding process or revamping should take this chance. I think you see what the kid does this year. Now, next year in the all season, if you find yourself in a place where you got some success and you may want to try it, then maybe then you do it. But I don't believe that. I don't think A, San Fran wants to do it anyway, and then B, I just don't think that they'll do it during the season. If anything, this move happens in the off season. Oh, and I got a pet peeve. I'm sorry. Pet peeve. I listen to people call in the radio shows. Now, this dude he's holding out because he wants a certain amount of money, right? But I hear caller after caller call into the radio show and was like, oh yeah, we could take Ayuk, but we gotta take him at a discount. Look, you can't buy a Cadillac and pay Hyundai Sonata money for it. Okay? You can't do that. And it's not going because the whole reason he holding out is because he wants the money. So, like today I was at my desk I was just holding my head because I just didn't get it, man. And I heard like 4 or 5 people like, if we can get him at the right price, that's my new key. If you ever hear somebody start the sentence, if we can have him at the right price, you don't want him.
No, I rephrase that. If we can get him at the right price equals you can't afford him.
Right. No, you don't want him. Because everybody's got a price if you listen to the $1 Million Man.
Well, yeah.
No, you're not getting a receiver of that caliber at a discount, period.
No.
Exactly.
And this dude's looking for top 5 money. Now, I know Midnight Rider doesn't like the way I structure contracts. I love incentive-laden contracts because it's easier on the team, but it gets the most out of players because if you don't produce, I ain't got to pay you. But if you produce, I'm paying you bonus money all day long. Let's go. That's what I like. I love an incentive late because if you get on the field and you got 50 catches, hey, that's $1 million for 50 catches. $2 million for 100 catches. You know, whatever. You incentive laden these contracts, it's good for the team, good for the player because they got to produce. Everybody's happy. But they don't do that. You get a couple of incentives here and there, and that's that.
Nobody's taking that deal. That's why they don't do it.
So you mean to tell me if I gave you a base salary,
KG, we going down the wormhole. I don't even want to do this to you, Doug. Don't even want to do this to you.
Oh man, Jack says I think the rookie quarterback for the Commanders will win Rookie of the Year. I think so too. And you talk about going down a wormhole. Perry said KG wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't run off like that. I wouldn't run off.
Not you.
Perry says a rebuilding team like Washington does not need to make a move on him. I at first I was like, let's do it. Then I was like, nah, that price tag's a little too much. Let's not. Go cheap and build. And Perry says, I hate armchair GMs. The thing with armchair GMs, they're not realistic all the time. Now, I know I come up with some crazy scenarios, but at least it's in the realm of realism a little bit. You got people, oh man, we could get so-and-so. They asking for $30 million, but we can get them for like 13 and then try to, balloon payment and then cut them after. No, it doesn't work like that. And Perry says, if your name not Brunson, then you get no discount. People are actually clowning Jalen Brunson because he took the hometown discount. And they said, well, you should have set your family up for generational wealth, but you took that money to play with your friends. You took a pay cut to play with your friends. You stupid. But the point of the playing the game, you play to win the game. It's not about money. You play to win championships. And like I said the other night, or whenever we were talking about it, if he wins the championship in New York, he can run for whatever office he wants in New York. He don't even, and nobody's going to run against him. He's won already. Anybody that brings a championship to DC, whether like Ovechkin, if Ovechkin wanted to run for mayor in DC, he'd win. He brought a championship to DC recently. He'd win. That's just how it goes for long-suffering fan bases. But I digress. Moving right along. ESPN has released a list, well, half the list so far, of ranking the top 100 professional athletes since 2000. We always talk about criteria on this show because this is the podcast that brought you the greatest tag teams of all time, and the People's Choice Don Rodriguez didn't say the Road Warriors nor the Legion of Doom. So we always talk about criteria. This is what ESPN says for the methodology. Experts in individual sports were asked to vote and rank the top athletes in their sports on January 1st. Since January 1st, 2000, no accomplishments before this date were to be considered. Those votes were pared down to pools in each sport to list of 10 to 15 athletes each, which constituted the overall candidate pool for the top athletes of the 21st century so far. So anything that happened before January 1st, 2000 does not count in this person's career. It's what happened after January 1, 2000 up until today, July 16, 2024. So a couple of notable names. We're not going to get into all of them because we'll be here all night. Hold on, Matty Ice said, I'm not an armchair GM, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
That always gets me. I'm sorry.
I love it. Perry said, that's Don, not surprised. He would have the Bushwhackers in his top 10. Oh, speaking of which, before the end of the year, we got to get that mega show going for the WrestleManiacs. So we can spend 2 hours and we can go back. That's what we need to do for the anniversary show. Let me put a pin in that now. We need to go back and look over that list so that can be talked about. But a couple notables on this 100. At 100 is Charles Woodson. Ed Reed is at 99. Connor McDavid, 98. Darrell Reeves, 96. Ronaldinho?
Ronaldo.
Soccer player? That's,
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have him as Ronaldo. Okay. He's number 94. Rory McIlroy's 93. Pedro Martinez, 92. Aaron Rodgers, 91. Asia Wilson, 90. Annika Sorensen, 89. Oh, come on. Roy Halladay, 88. Venus Williams, 86. Kawhi Leonard, 85. Lauren Jackson, 84. Chris Paul, 83. Cheryl Swoops, 81. Andy Murray, 80. Bryce Harper, 79. B-Hop, Bernard Hopkins, 78. Shelly Ann Fraser Price, 77.
His top 20.
They haven't even revealed that yet.
Oh, is that right?
They trickling them out.
So the way they go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was going to say the way they're doing this list, they're revealing it in pieces, and I think there was upwards of 7,000 people that contributed to this list. So You're probably going to find. I mean, we're not talking about. We're talking all sports. Now, I don't think they included WWE in this, but cricket, some of the other stuff. There are people in this. I know locally, I think Ovechkin was 54 on the list. So yeah, Ovechkin's 54. Calvin Johnson's 57. I'm gonna say that one more time. Calvin Johnson's 57.
Megatron.
I don't understand what I'm dealing with here. What are we doing here, people? The man on the goal line got guarded like he was in punt coverage. I will tell you now, if that doesn't stick out in your head, I can't help you. I can't do it. If that doesn't say greatness, then I just don't know. I don't know what we're doing here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we up to 1375. Lisa Leslie, 74, Mookie Betts, 73, Shaun White, 72, Pacquiao's 71, Jay Kidd, 69, Phil Mickelson, 68, James Harden, 67, John Bones Jones is 66, Mia Hamm, 64, Allison Felix, 63, Shohei Ohtani, 62, Ray Lewis, 61, Candace Parker, 60, the greatest closer that ever lived, Mariano Rivera, is 59, JJ Watt's 58, Calvin Johnson, 57. Don't be like that.
Because I know it's coming. Go ahead. Come on, get to it. Come on.
The greatest shortstop of all time from Kalamazoo, Michigan, Derek Sanderson Jeter is number 53. Adrian Beltre is number 52. Steve Nash is 51. And that's as far as they've gotten so far as 51. I got to look at these comments and I agree with them. Perry says list is already whack. I agree.
Right. I disagree.
I think I don't criteria
because you got to think about it, because some of these people have already played out their whole careers, so that's why you get Shohei at wherever he is as opposed to being higher, because we got people that have full bodies of work from the 2000s that are in play. Now, right. I don't like Rivas being so far down because, we named the island after you. You got to give that some love. He got to be in the 70s, I think. And another person I think gets cheated is Shaun White.
Yeah.
I think Shaun White gets cheated because he's a pioneer. The only person from that action sport level that should be higher than him maybe is Pastrani.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. I know my action sports. Don't do that. Don't act like that.
Matty Ice said once I saw McDavid was only 98, I was done. Perry says if Federer, Nadal, or Joker's not high, then this is the trash.
But you talking about three of the best?
Right.
There's no way they're not in the top 50. Because you talking about the Joker, who's probably the best, one of the best. Federer is in that the best conversation, and Nadal is probably the best ever to play at the French Open at Roland Garros.
Right. Yeah.
Don't give me that side eye, KG.
I don't have an argument
at Roland Garros. I
don't have an argument to stand on. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Lee Ice said Chris Paul, really? Say it again, Lee Ice. Perry said that's my problem, MR. On Rivas and White, Matty Ice says Beltre greater than Jeter is a joke. Say it again.
No.
What?
Beltre was in the league at 19. He's got 558 plus home runs. No. We're not giving this to Jeter just because he played in New York.
It has nothing to do with him playing in New York.
This is a Travis Mockery. It's a Travis Mockery if this is what you're doing.
You can call it what you want. But let's talk about the moments. The big play moments, the clutch moments.
Oh, okay.
How many clutch moments?
How many home runs Jeter got? How many home runs Jeter got? How many RBIs?
Hold on. I'll get you the official count.
I think Jeter got 4 and some change.
You know what it is? You're living off of him tagging Giambi in the World Series. Great play. But it doesn't make him a better player than Adrian Beltre. In this argument right here, I'll be your Huckleberry. Because that was my favorite player at that time. I'll be your Huckleberry when we talking about Adrian Beltre.
Derek Jeter, 310 lifetime batting average, 3,465 hits, 260 home runs, 1,311 RBIs with 358 stolen bases.
The only place he beats Beltre may be stolen bases. because Beltre's got 3,000 hits. But I'll go. You know what? Since you presented your case, it's all good, man. But let's not get bogged down in this. Let's go ahead and let the people get going. We'll finish this.
You open the door. I'm gonna walk through it.
No. Pen. We can put a pen in it.
Well, he doesn't. Beltre doesn't have a hitting average that Jeter has.
Okay.
And I don't think
so. You must be looking at his stats. Go ahead. Read them all for me.
286 lifetime hitter, 3,166 hits.
How many Jeter have? How many hits did Jeter have?
Jeter had 34. What? I can't remember. I didn't write it down.
Okay. We'll inflate this number. Go ahead.
Okay, 477 home runs and 1,707 RBIs.
That sounds good to me.
Jeter had 34.65.
Okay.
Anyway, Sam All checking in. Perry said Nadal is the greatest clay player, period. Lee Ice said Chris Paul is the Bronny James of the list. Damn. Go ahead and hit him with the Bianca Belair. You don't even go here. Sam All said this is a high blood pressure show. Woosah. Yeah, it is.
They need to both.
Whoa. Perry, you just broke my heart.
Yeah, Perry, you tripping.
A-Rod was a better
shortstop. I don't disagree with this
either. Ain't no way.
If he was a better shortstop, why they moved him to third then?
Yeah, A-Rod was no way, no how, never a better shortstop than Derek Jeter.
Time. It's New York. You were never moving. Go ahead, do your thing. Derek, what? Sanderson Jeter from Kalamazoo,
Michigan.
Left my wallet in El Segundo, wherever he's from. You say it every time. That's why Rodriguez moved to third. It's not because he wasn't better. It was Derek Jeter's team. It's just like when you had D Wade move over, so that wasn't happening in New York.
Jeter's a better shortstop.
Let LeBron shine. Derek Jeter was never letting that happen. I'm sorry.
So you're saying pound for pound, A-Rod's a better shortstop than Derek Jeter?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I believe it. I don't believe it.
He's not.
You know what?
Not a range Jeter had, the arm Jeter had.
No. I'll take it one step further. I'll take Cal Ripken over Derek Jeter.
I'll take Cal Ripken over A-Rod.
That's how I'll go. No, you know what I'm saying. We've done 20 shows together. You know what I'm saying.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, but okay. That's the cross you want to die. So big.
Hey, what I always say, I'm willing to die on the cross I believe in, baby.
Matty Ice said, I hate the Yankees, and I'm saying that talking about Jeter, Jeter being better than Beltre. Sam Moss said Jeter wins because of Hannah Davis.
I'll post it. There's a Jeter lineup of the women he dated. It ain't bad. Derek Jeter, woo.
Matty Ice said, not saying Beltre shouldn't be on the list, just not higher than Jeter. I agree with that. Perry agrees with you when you talk about A-Rod being a better shortstop. So,
because you know what? They had what?
They had a better chance of moving Jesus than Jeter.
Here we go.
I'll give you that. Perry said A-Rod was not coming to New York and taking the captain shortstop spot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Matty Ice said agree, but Ripken is 20th century. Ripken didn't play past 2000?
Nah.
He was already
I don't remember him.
He retired late 90s.
Yeah, I think he was around that time.
Okay. But this list is incomplete. It's halfway done, but it's got some discrepancies. So this is going to be something to talk about. Maybe Thursday when we come back, we'll have what's that? We have 51. Maybe we'll have 1 through 50 by Thursday.
Well, at least have up to 25.
Cal retired in 2001.
Okay.
I put Cal on this list ahead of.
No, you wouldn't. It's 2 years. 2 years of Cal at the end of his
career.
career.
Only 2 years of Cal, so he definitely ain't on the list.
I look. I put Cal on any list. Now that's the thing. I love.
If you put You know what? If you putting Cal on this, then I demand that Josh Gordon goes on this list. If you're gonna give 2 years of a Cal, I need 2 years of Josh Gordon.
He gonna get his 2 years.
Oh man. Okay. Let's I got a big announcement to make, so let me do that. Perry says A-Rod came to New York after the Bo Sox deal fell through. Third base,
Right.
yeah?
Yep.
Big announcement. Two big announcements as far as myself goes. I'm not sure. Jack, are you partaking in college football 25?
Oh yeah, we gotta do this.
No.
Nah,
You
he
know-
doesn't.
okay.
I don't think Jack's a gamer.
Okay.
You talking
Midnight
about playing
Rider?
games? Playing video games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I ain't got it. No,
Midnight Rider?
I'm the old dude.
Hey,
I'm not up to date on my systems. So right now, I'm going to JUCO with my NCAA 25 skills.
well, it's already been announced once. I'll announce it again. I'm going to Notre Dame. Staying independent. No, none of that ACC stuff. I'm staying independent. I'm going to play USC, Navy, Purdue, Boston College, all those teams, you know, the rivalry teams that we normally play, going back to tradition. That's what we're going to do. And of course, I'll take on the cupcake.
Midnight Rider from the Sideline Junkies. What did it take for you to get to this decision, sir?
Love of the game, and I honestly don't think I've ever played in the last 20 years. I don't think I've ever played with another team other than Notre Dame in college football.
Well, you kind of took my next question, but if you had to take a team outside of the Irish, is there a team that you felt worthy of you playing as in the video game?
Well, before the Irish, it was my own creation of a school, a lovely school I called Maryland State, and we were known as the Savages. Very, very big and proud school. It was located at the time in Bladensburg, Maryland, a 150,000 seat stadium with skull and crossbones in the middle of the field, black and white jerseys, and we ran all over the country. Nobody could beat us.
And as a recruiter, are you going to be heavy in the NIL market or the transfer portal?
Most definitely, because the goal is to win, and the goal is to win by any means necessary within the rules of the game. So yes, I will be heavy in the NILs and transfer portals. And you know, you want to go to a school, you don't want the coach forcing you to go see Lil Wayne, go see his son on stage rapping, dancing. Come to Notre Dame.
Thank you, sir.
Matty Ice said, real men take Kent State. Sam Moss said Buster Posey and Randy Johnson top 100. They should be. They should. That's out already. They should be.
We gotta figure out how much Randy Johnson's career lapped into the early 2000s.
He won a championship with the Diamondbacks in the early 2000s.
Oh, who do they beat? Huh? I'm just asking a question.
Perry said sounds real AAU of UKG. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the way it is.
I'm just asking a question. Who did Arizona beat when they won their championship? With Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling and Luis Gonzalez.
You know, Perry, I don't really see it as AAU-ish. I just see it as more of a this is going to be a right fit for me. You know, I think this is where I belong.
This is where your heart lies?
Yes. And I think we can make some magic happen. But My second big announcement. I just looking at things, and we don't get too political on this show, but looking at the way things are in the political climate, I want to announce my bid for presidency. My motto is I can't do no worse than what everybody else do. So
protect your ears.
That's all I can do. George Clinton is going to run my campaign. He's going to be my campaign manager. As far as my running mate, I think I'm going to get Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
So, if I get Dave Chappelle, I don't have to worry about nobody trying to assassinate me, because they assassinate me. Then you got Dave Chappelle as president. What you going to do then? So
yellow cake. That's all I'm saying. Yellow cake.
You better hope I don't drop this shit.
Right. Yo, I'm dropping that in the Sideline Junkies podcast, just so everybody get the joke.
Oh shoot! Couple of comments before we roll up out of here. Let me throw this up here. Couple comments. Maryland State though, yeah, because I couldn't do what was it? University of Maryland Eastern Shore used to be called Maryland State. That's why I chose that. Because before they changed their name to Eastern Shore, they were Maryland State. They were Maryland State College.
That'd be a long time ago. It's been Eastern Shore since I remember. Yeah.
And I believe that's how it went.
If we're doing the old schools that we played as, my school was the Anacostia Gladiators Stadium in Southeast DC. You know what I'm saying? I think we set 100,000. Red and black, baby, red and black. That's back in, what was that? That was probably like 2010. I think that was one of the last ones I played before they changed the recruiting and started making you do like all the ticket prices and all that stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I gotta come check these games out, man. It's been a minute.
You control ticket prices, concession stands. Like it gets to a point where it's like just too much. I just like the recruiting part. I didn't like the extra stuff. I didn't want to do the other stuff. I just wanted to coach my team.
That's what I like to do on Madden.
Yeah.
But University of Maryland Eastern Shore used to be called Maryland State College. So when I made my university, I made a Maryland State as a tribute to University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Matty Ice said, I think it was the Yankees, if I recall. I was trying to avoid that, Matty. That's so non-credited is what Perry said. Remember Bruce's Million? Vote C, none of the above.
Yeah.
Sam Moss said Bill Burr is president. Hey, I vote for it.
We can't get no worse.
Hey. And Perry said, shouts out to my old dorm mate Cleo Hill Jr., new basketball coach at Eastern Shores. Okay. Congratulations to him. Final thoughts before we get out of here, gentlemen.
Looks like the NL is out early on the AL. 3-0. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Go ahead, Jack. See if I got anything else.
Summer League basketball is still going around, y'all. Check that out. San Antonio Spurs have just shut down Stephon Castle. He sprained his wrist, and so he is shut down for the rest of Summer League, but he'll be fine. He looked good in that game. A boy from Miami's looking well in Summer League. Jamie Jaquez, he's looking like he's a perfect fit for Miami. He had 29, 11, and 5 in his first Summer League game. I've watched more Summer League so far this year than I probably have the last 10 years. Zach Eddy's balling right now. He looked good in his debut.
You're not going to talk about your boys?
Which one?
Connect. He had 25, 9, and 6.
Yeah, he did good. And
then your other boy, Shepard, right? You was high on Shepard.
Yeah, I like Shepard. Shepard did good against the Wizards, actually.
Shepard's been hot the last couple games. I think there's some people already trying to say that maybe they should have gone Shepard because of his shooting ability, as opposed with Sarr. But you just can't turn down. I'm sorry. TLC tells you don't go chasing waterfalls, but I don't mind chasing unicorns. And Alex Sarr is a unicorn.
Sarr's gonna be fine. He had an up and down. He had one game this weekend was good, and he had the other game And Connect got him for 15 rebounds, maybe 7 offensive.
Yeah.
So Sarr's got to do better keeping the body on him, keeping him off the boards. You can't just,
he's going to struggle tonight because he's got Clemson tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they play Portland.
Oh, okay. So that should be a late game, huh?
I can't remember what league they're in, so I'm trying to look for it.
Right, I know. I'm trying to keep all that stuff figured out too, whether they're in Orlando
I
or
think it's
Vegas.
on now, so you might have to go back. It started at 8:30, so we're
It'll be about halftime.
Probably before that. Yeah, we're at the beginning of the second.
Okay.
Which is 21, Portland 7, and that's a terrible shot selection. And there's Clement cleaning up the boards. Asking you shall receive.
Yeah.
Harry says Gary Trent Jr. to the Bucks and pronounce Jaime. Lee Ice said I'm disgusted watching these ugly ass uniforms in All-Star grade. BC said
it's gotta be organic, man. But what are we doing here?
I'll take it. We have $4. And finally, Sam R. A unicorn is a single woman that shows up to swingers parties. Chase them.
There we go, baby.
And with that, we got to get on up out of here because we are overtime. Well, we're not overtime. We at time. So let's not do no overtime because you know what it is. For the gentleman, Jack Carr, the man to the south, the Midnight Rider. I am the big guy, KG. We will see you on Thursday night for the Thursday night throwdown. But until then, we don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.